Monday of the first week of Lent, February 23rd, 2026, optional memorial of Saint Polycarp. Today, as we journey through the first week of Lent, the Church presents to us a powerful call, a call to holiness of life. And today, we also remember Saint Polycarp, an early bishop and martyr, who lived this call faithfully even to the point of death. His life reminds us that holiness is not just spoken about, it is lived, witnessed, and sometimes even suffered for. In the first reading, God speaks clearly to his people. Be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy. But God does not leave holiness as an abstract idea. He explains it in practical terms. Do not steal, do not lie, and do not hate your neighbor. Do not seek revenge, but love your neighbor as yourself. This shows us something important. Holiness is expressed in how we treat others. Love of God and love of neighbor go together. They complement each other and cannot be separated. Our love for God becomes visible in our relationships, in our actions, and in how we respond to people around us. When we live this way, the Spirit of God becomes manifest in our witness. The Gospel makes this message even stronger. Jesus speaks about the final judgment and tells us that we will be judged by the love we show in concrete actions. I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. Jesus identifies himself with the poor, the suffering, the forgotten, and the least among us. The good we do for others is service to God himself, and the help we refuse in love withheld from Christ. Both the first reading and the Gospel call us to authentic Christian living. They invite us to practice the spiritual and corporal works of mercy, to meet people where they are, to care for their needs, to help restore dignity, and to draw them closer to God through love. This is what Lent helps us to do. Through prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, we grow in our relationship with God and become more attentive to the needs of others. Prayer brings us closer to God. Fasting purifies our hearts and frees us from selfishness. Almsgiving opens our eyes to the sufferings of others and moves us to compassion. These practices transform us so that we can truly touch people where they are in their need. One meaningful sacrifice we might embrace this Lent is to make a conscious decision not to be a source of harm to others. Sometimes we hurt others through our words, our anger, our indifference, or our unwillingness to help. Instead, we are called to offer a helping hand, to bring healing rather than injury, to be part of the solution and not the problem. Jesus reminds us today that our eternal destiny is connected to how we live the commandment of love. Those who lived in love receive everlasting life, while those who ignored the needs of others face the consequences of their indifference. The message is simple but challenging. Love must be lived. The example of Saint Polycarp strengthens this message. He remained faithful to Christ even under persecution, showing that true love for God leads to faithful witness and self-giving service. His life challenges us to ask, how faithful are we in living our Christian principles in everyday situation? My brothers and sisters, Lent is a time of conversion. It is a time to examine our hearts. And do we see Christ in others? Do we respond to those in need? Do we live the holiness God calls us to? May this season help us grow in love of God and neighbor. And may our prayer deepen our faith, our fasting purify our hearts, and our charity reveal God's presence. And like Saint Polycarp, may our lives become a living witness to Christ's love in the world. Have a beautiful day and remain blessed.